the greatest of the three is love. We all know very well that what we are all looking for is the greatest. We want to be the greatest. Is that not it? Brother Charles want to be the one, or he want to be the greatest. By the grace of God, man say, I want to be the greatest. He said the greatest is what? Is love. But we have left it. But yet we want to be the greatest. How can we be the greatest when we have left what is supposed to make us the greatest? It didn't say the greatest is prayer. It didn't say the greatest is tongues. It didn't say the greatest is prophecy. It said the greatest is love. But we have left it. Yet we want to not even be the greater, we want to be great. Hallelujah. Now I want you to know that love cares. And if it cares, then it means that love is kindness. Love is what? Love cares. And if it cares, love therefore is kindness. 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 Before then, let me say this. I want you to know that love is what has replaced the 10 commandments. In other words, love is the end of the law. Love is what? The end of the law. So let's read that place before we look at love cares, and therefore love is kindness. Look at Romans chapter 13, the verse 8 to 10.
Romans 13, 8 to 10.
Yes.
Owe no man anything.
Owe no man anything.
But to love one another.
But to love one another.
For he that loveth another.
For he that loveth another.
Have fulfilled the law.
So, jump to the verse 10.
Verse
because,
10.
Yes.
10. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor.
Love worketh no ill to his neighbor.
Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law.
Therefore, love is the fulfilling
of the law.
Love is the fulfilling of the law. So any Christian that continues to live in the days of the 10 commandments is not a Christian. Because in the Old Testament there was no Christianity. What was there was Jewish worship or Judaism. What was in the Old Testament was what? Judaism. There was no Christianity. It is after the death and resurrection of Christ that we have Christianity. And what Jesus now tells us is that we should what? We should walk in love. And he's telling us that love is the fulfilling of the law. But before then, look at what Jesus himself said. John chapter 13, the verse 34. This was what Jesus himself said. Then now Paul came to give us a higher revelation, or to give us the understanding. When Jesus said a new commandment, he was trying to say that the new has replaced
the old.
The old.
John 13:34. A new commandment.
If there is a new, it means there was an old, right?
Well,
a new commandment
I give unto you.
I give unto you. Who was it that gave us the 10 commandments? God. Who is Jesus? No, I'm talking to us. Who is Jesus?
God.
So if Jesus is God and gave us the 10 commandments, and he's saying that a new commandment, which one is now the greatest? The new one.
Yes,
or
sir.
the old?
The new. I give unto you
I give unto you
that ye love one
that
another,
ye love one another,
as I have loved you,
as I have loved you,
that ye also love one another.
that ye also love one another. And I'm saying that it was God that gave the Old Testament 10 commandments to Moses to be given to the children of Israel. That same God is Jesus, and he's telling us that a new commandment I gave the old ones. And you see, listen to this. In a certain way, the 10 commandments was not a problem. But the people that were supposed to obey it could not meet the standard. So now God have to bring it down. I'm telling you, the standard was, and that was because God was up there. And when he now came in the form of Jesus, he came down. So that's, he's saying, a new commandment. I gave the old commandment, but now I'm giving you
A new one.
commandment. That you are welcome. A new one. To tell you that if there's a commandment you ought to obey, it's not the 10 commandments, but it is this new one.
Sure.
And which is it?
Love.
That you love one another. And Paul is telling us, please, brothers, don't go back to the Romans chapter 10.
13 verse 10.
Romans chapter 13 verse what?
10.
Verse 10. Very important. And this is Jesus.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not steal.
Thou shalt not steal.
Thou shalt not bear false
Thou
witness.
shalt not bear false witness.
Thou shalt not covet.
Thou shalt not covet.
And if there be any other,
And if there be any other,
verse 10.
verse 10. And if there be, there's some in the verse 9. Is there if there's any other commandment?
If there's any other commandment,
If there's any other commandment,
it is briefly
comprehended
in this saying,
in this saying,
namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor
thou
as
shalt love thy neighbor as
thyself.
thyself. Verse 10 now.
Love worketh no ill to his
Love
neighbor.
worketh no ill to his neighbor.
Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law.
That's all.
Sure.
And that's the new commandment Jesus came to give to us. And he said, love your neighbor as yourself. And he said that when you love your neighbor, you will not do him evil. So you do me evil, you cannot tell me that you love me. The fact that you are doing me evil, you are saying evil about me and doing evil about me, you can't tell me that you love me. Because if you love me, he said, love worketh no evil to his neighbor.
Sure.
You can't say you love me, and yet you are what? You are doing evil against me. So your deeds are greater than the words you are speaking. Action speaks louder
than words. Sure.
You can't say you love me. And you see, we should be ashamed as Christians. The late great apostle of the church of Pentecost, the man was poisoned twice. By which people? It is not outsiders. It's a public notice. Yeah. Public knowledge. So what I'm saying is not that it's a public knowledge. One time he had traveled on the what you call missionary journey. Then he heard in a particular Christian family. And when he took the flight, his stomach started. And because it was a flight, he brought him to Ghana safely. And when he got to the hospital, he was right to the hospital when it was noticed that he was poisoned, and it was food poisoning. Who poisoned him? Apostle, I'm asking a question. If this man should die, what will you gain? What will you gain? What if somebody, even if it's money the person gave you, how long can you spend that money? And you have forgotten about eternal judgment. You have forgotten about the fact that is someone's husband. It means that you want to make the person to be what? To be a widow. And after that you go and do yakabranta kabadaka. What kind of hypocrisy is this? What kind of hypocrisy is that? And he had to, it was the doctor that saved him. Why? Say love
worketh no ill.
Yeah, there's the man. He's late now. He's late. This is a man who became an apostle of the Church of Pentecost at the age of 40. Never happened before. Never happened before. And he led the church for 8 years. And that's the time that the church received a lot of growth. And he was a media person. The man is late now. Yeah. So, what is Christianity? The money, if it's money somebody gave to you to poison him, are you sure that you can live to spend the money? People don't fear. A man called by God, a man that you don't come from the same family, you don't know him from Adam, except Christianity. And you are not even afraid that is a man that has broken a record in the church, that all the people who led the church have been elderly people, yet a young man like this, his his chairmanship came as a result of a prophecy, and the man survived war. Yet whatever motivated you, and you took money to or whatever to poison him to gain what? And sometimes we just have to be honest. This is a man that is not against your kingdom, but he is for your kingdom which you belong to, and is helping to depopulate hell in order to